How the hell you doing, brother? I think the world sucks because dudes are unathletic. But every dude that is unathletic really likes, their football, their fantasy leagues, and their basketball. And then the dudes who aren't athletic hate on sports. And they're like, I don't watch sports. Those are for the masses. Those are for the idiots. Oh, look at these cucks watching their football. Bunch of black dudes throw around that pigskin. I'm too good for sports. And these guys don't even play sports. So, really, like 95%, I would wager, of grown-ass men don't have an athletic bone in their body. And they're all up here. And I'm telling you, man, it's very difficult to trust an unathletic dude. Have you ever play spike ball with your friends at a party? You can just instantly tell, man, this guy, he's like he's got two left feet. This guy is one unathletic son of a gun. That pop the ball up, they're just frozen, stand there like there's lead weights. You can instantly you can instantly tell if a man has spirit by how he plays just a random sport. Seriously, you can instantly tell. You can tell if his body's decaying. You can tell if his mind is gone. Seriously, you can tell if he's in his head too much. Because if you're in your head too much, your body just doesn't move. Because it's become concrete. Like the signals don't fire. Just bzz, bzz, it just doesn't fire anymore. So really, like, you want to see who you can trust? Because what happens if shit hits the fan? I mean, every game, every sport is just a simulation of, some sort of hunt, some sort of prowl, some miniature war. So just look at basketball. I suck at basketball. When I go to a meetup, my boy Fabian, he kind of makes fun of me. Bro, you trash. You trash at basketball. But when I'm playing basketball, at least I'm trying. At least my heart's in the game. Put me in, coach. At least I'm giving it my all. I'm passing it. They're like, we're taking up the middle. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to go through my leg. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not even that bad, honestly. All right, I'm not even that bad. My shot's a little off. But at least when I shoot, I'm not like, Nick Fuentes. He was, poor guy, man. Poor guy. All this talking on the internet, all this yapping. And good points or bad points, but then someone recorded him shooting a basketball. And it was just sad. It's just sad. Sometimes you see these, like, oh man, it's just sad. Like, imagine whoever you look up to, and you just watch them shoot a basketball and, like, or do anything athletic, and it's like, man, how sad. Because it confirms to you, this guy can talk, this guy can think a lot of thoughts, but his body is just broken. His spirit is not even there. So what is he? What is he really? That's what it makes you think. What makes you feel when you see this. I was always perplexed. You read all these philosophers. Nietzsche. Could Nietzsche touch rim? Could Nietzsche jump his little toes off the ground and touch the rim? This man, this titan of thought that, stood on the mountains. And listen, I'm not shitting on Nietzsche. And a lot of, the thing about Nietzsche, man, we see everything. You heard he died from syphilis and he got his heart broken over some woman, whatever. I mean, dude, you can pick any guy apart that you see too much of. You know too many details, you just rip them to shreds. And that's an interesting to think of, because You're also saying, go on this podcast, talk about your life, do this, be seen in the public, do vlog. Man, people see too much. Any little thing, Nietzsche, Nietzsche just died of syphilis and heartbroken from his, that woman Betty or whatever her name was. And then his whole philosophy is written off. But I think a better, more succinct question is, could Nietzsche touch rim? Could Nietzsche catch a football? Could he run a line? I would like to see him shoot a basketball. Could Schopenhauer, could he hit a tennis ball? Could Kierkegaard swim? Could he swim? If you put him in some water, could he swim? Could he go across the pool underwater? That's important. Can he do this? Can he push himself? Is his heart there? Is his spirit there? All important things, man. And I don't know. You look at what sports are important to the elderly. Okay? Golf. Golf is an amazing sport. But golf is a finesse game. Golf is really a game. There's no defense. And when there's no defense, it's not a sport, it's a game. So we don't need to argue about this, but a lot of people get older and they play golf. When you're younger, you play more athletically demanding team sports. Football, basketball. You get older, it's hard to compete. It's hard. So a lot of people give it up and they just become walkers. They go on hikes. But golf took on this prestigious sort of affluent, rich white folk, image. You get acquainted with the club, the golf club, or you join the country club and you pay a fee and you hang out with your rich friends. You drink your beers and you drive in your carts. But there's a lot of money in golf. Golf is a very expensive sport. You pay $50 just to play 18 holes, rent your car, get your car fees. I don't know if that's included, but you spend 6 hours on the golf course. Got to get away from my old ball and chain. So, but really, what are people doing when they are past the age of, after they're out of high school or college? People play pickup basketball games. But really, the first thing that we give up is sport, game, play. That's the first thing that we get up. Why did the philosophers of antiquity, of the time past, why did they never touch on this? Did they? I mean, the only one I know of who really kind of did is Jesus. You must become just like a child. What do children like to do? They like to play. And Yukio Mishima sort of touched on it, where it's like, okay, all of these philosophers, they go deep into the night, they have all these nocturnal thoughts, but they got fat bellies and sagging skin, pale skin. What are they doing? He's like, he was actually into fencing. On guard, ye beast. Just on guard. He got into fencing. The sword became an extension of his own body, sort of symbiosis between his flesh and muscle and the steel. And they started lifting weights, and he was like, oh yeah, this is fun. But for many of us, man, I mean, the walk in the gym, is that really play? It sounds kind of like a cage. Really like a cage. I don't know, why were the philosophers never talking about it? And maybe they were. I haven't read all the philosophers. Maybe there's some absolute zinger quotes about the importance of sport and play. Smoking a Joya de Nicaragua original today. These are by the Cigar Crate guys. Thanks again. This is a good one. You know, it's like the first thing we give up. Really. Everyone wants to chase a bag these days. They're a bunch of bag chasers. My good man, Mr. Bag Chaser, chasing the bag. These individuals, these grinders, these mysterious men. Really? This is what you evolved to do? This is what you left childhood and became an adult, was to chase a bag? Let the bag chase you, baby. Seriously, I mean, we could go into a whole tangent, and I think that we will. I actually think that we will go into this. But I don't want to leave behind my main point, is that, holy shit, you may be unathletic, and that may be ruining your life. That really may be ruining your life. Because the one thing that united the neighborhood when we were kids was sport. The one thing that united the boys was competitiveness. Now, people get real irked off when I say competitiveness. They think competition is bad. That is just because, you know, you've been too steeped in the sissified culture. But I can tell you that there's a sort of discovery amongst a group of men within shared games and sport. In Fight Club, Tyler Durden wasn't just bringing the men of Project Mayhem down into a basement and, you know, going back, they were discovering something. They were tapping into something that would cause them to be rejuvenated and reborn. I can guarantee you that Jesus and his disciples were not just walking around performing miracles and, you know, that's it. Adios. See you, Jesus. Okay, now go make fishers of men. Yeah, they were going and fishing together. They were probably on boats sailing, you know, oh man on deck. Starboard tack. Oh man on deck. You know, like they were sailing the seas. The original pirates. They had to be wrestling. They had to do some sort of catch wrestling, man. Come on. You put 12 dudes in camp together. What are they going to just sit around a fire and tell ghost stories? No, man, they're going to get, these are testy ass dudes. These are dudes that left everything behind to follow the way. These were guys that were, you know, they were rugged bandits and just they had to be high tests, high thumos, high spirits. And the first thing we give up is this competitiveness, this just yearning to play. Huh. How sad. How disappointing. The spirit must cry out. The spirit must be in anguish. And I feel it. You know, we feel it. And man, it is just, I come from a background of athletics. You know, I played so many sports. I played 7 seasons of baseball. I played basketball. I played a season of football. Only white kid on the team. All black kids. One guy, he literally was built and looked like Usher at like 15 years old. Probably weighed $180. And he just tackled my ass. And I nearly broke my arm. And dude, that shit will wake you up quick. But I skateboarded, skate park at Tampa. Used to be in the underground, Tony Hawk Underground series. You know, you could skate there. I was there, man. I was there in my little Skechers. People making fun of me. Look at those little Skechers you got on. Skateboarding. Where's the DVS? Where's your DVSs, dude? Where's your Vans? Let's go. Act right. I played it all, man. Really did. Just love sports. So as I got older, I was like, man, I got to, like, it's just a part of me. So I always had this, okay, what else could I do? I got into jiu-jitsu. I'm a 2-stripe purple belt now. You know, 5 years later, been training jiu-jitsu. Love it. Then I discovered, and this is what I'm saying. You see this holy chalice in the background. By the way, some guy thought that I am, some people said I'm from the CIA. I'm a CIA guy. And by me putting the basket, the pin in the back, that I'm using that to sort of, they think I'm a trust fund kid and that I come from money and I'm trying to get people into bohemian sports. My parents died. I had no money. I had absolutely zero money when they died. You know why golf's so popular? Because there's money. Now, your average dude, this is, here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, you little sickos. Let me show you. Look at this, man. Right here. Destroyer. Let me show you. Look at this bad boy. Okay, this, you think this is a frisbee? Most people are not athletic enough, not coordinated enough, they don't have enough finesse to properly throw this thing to enjoy the game of disc golf. Most people are, and it is, it's humbling because you think, oh, I threw frisbees as a kid. You're gonna go to the course. You're gonna pick this up. You smart, intelligent man that writes off this game. I think this game could actually change the world. But there's too many idiots, they overthink it. And also, these are not expensive. This is not an expensive sport. That's why it's always been written off. There's no money in this. So, you know, it had to be, okay, keep that down, because if everyone's playing this, they're not going to buy the golf clubs. They're not going to pay the fees to go to the golf course. You know, there's a lot of money in other sports. That's why they're popular. You got finesse, dude. You got one shot into play in sports that would not satiate the soul. I'm telling you, this right here, you're missing out, man. You're really missing out. I discovered this last summer. Most people have no idea. You reach back with this and you pull like a lawnmower, but most people can't do this. And you plant the lead foot, right? That braces you as you pull through this pocket. And you got to throw it at a certain angle. If you throw it nose up, you get zero distance. It goes up, the wind catches it, it fades out. You throw it nose down perfectly here, release. I can throw this further than a freaking football field. Most people will never be able to get this. You will feel like a little woman throwing this. And you'll give up because it's hard, right? And you'll miss out. And then look, when you get close, you throw a putter. Right? These are your putters, and this takes precision. It takes keeping your eyes on a target, right? Keeping your eyes on the damn target. That was so close. And it's an amazing game. It's an absolutely amazing game. Competitive, fun, 18 holes, very dopaminergic. I mean, 18 targets. Is that not what every man sort of likes? Is a target, something he can aim at, something he can go towards, perfect, achieve. That's why it's so addicting. Get out there with your boys, have a good time, get competitive, tournaments all over the place, great discs, different flight numbers. Like this one right here, this is a mid-range. This is my zone. This is my trusty old zone. Titanium. The disc numbers are 4, 3, 0, 3. 4 for the flight, so when you throw it, it has that much glide. Or that's the speed you throw it at. So 4 speed, it goes up to like, I think 13, 14. Really got a hammer on it. 3 glide, so it's not going to lift too much. 0 turn, so it's not going to turn when you throw it. A disc will turn like this. This one is going to stay like this. Very stable, very beefy. This is a beefcake. And then 2 fade, so it's going to fade like this at the end. 2. So you have different numbers. So you start to develop this game. You get a bag. This is my bag right here. All the tools of the trade. Man. And when I discovered this, it just instantly clicked. And then I tried to get people to play it. And some people are just so unathletic that they couldn't throw it. And in their mind, they're like, oh, disc golf's for nerds. Disc golf's for weed-smoking hippies. And they just write it off. So many people are unathletic. Holy shit. It's like, yeah, it's anyone can hit a golf ball. You got a stick. Old 70-year-old can take a stick, hit a damn golf ball. You might not hit it straight or accurately. And listen, I know golf is very difficult. Golf is very difficult. This is easy to start, hard to master. And I guarantee you most of you guys will not even be able to throw 100 feet. So people just write it off. And there's no money in it. So there's no advertising. So you didn't get your little advertising kick. They got you psyoped into playing. So you play the games that the world tells you. You have no curiosity. I'm getting absolutely pumped. During times of play, man, during times of competition, there's always an element of discovery. A discovering of yourself, your powers, your gifts. Also what you find enjoyable. Really what you find enjoyable, what you want to keep doing. When you find something that you love, you naturally set up your life for a way for you to keep doing it. Most people's love has become, it's not even a love, it's a chore, it's a hijacking of, like, they've become hijacked by money, chasing money, by these outlets of, you know, the time online. Like, they get their competitive from video games. But a true love and a true joy that you discover during play, man, it teaches you something. And it develops bonds and friendships. You know, it's almost fall. You can feel it in the air. Leaves are starting to change. One of the things that you start to feel that can kind of creep up is this feeling of, like, loneliness. Really, like, real loneliness. And you know that you're going to be forced into potential deep isolation. You know, you're going to be indoors a lot. And it's scary because it's like, oh man, this time of year, time to, all right, it's getting cold. It's rough. It kind of forces you to take a stock of where you're at. And it can be a little frightening, man. But what I think it really reminds you of is, do you have people? Do you have people, yes or no? Do you have people in your life? Do you have someone in your life you could share a cigar with right now? Do you have people in your life you could sit down, not on the toilet, not on Leeches or chess.com, and play a game of chess? Do you have people in your life you could put out a board and play a game of chess and have a good ass time? Do you have someone like that? Do you have people in your life you can play a game with? Not randoms online, not all, you know, skill-based matchmaking in a server, randoms, and then you get booted to the next server and you're just grinding for rank after rank, hijacked. Do you have people in your life you can share real experiences with? You know? I think if you answer no as a guy, you're going to have turmoil. You're going to deal with a bit of turmoil in that loneliness. And what you ultimately become is this guy who is just been ushered into the system. And this is the cause of a lot of unhappiness. You get ushered into the machine, and you're taught how to serve the machine. You're taught not how to escape, not how to find true meaning and joy in life, but how to serve a machine. You go to school, you're shaped up, stand in line, learn this in order to make money, and in the process of doing all of that, we give up. You know, we give up on what we find truly meaningful and fun. We call it duty, you know, and we tolerate so much nonsense. We say yes to people that we don't want to say yes to. We do things for security. We tolerate things that we hate just so we're provided a bit of certainty in this life, a bit of security. We give up whatever faith it takes, dude. And it is scary when you go against that, because when you go against the system, when you go against the machine, you're shamed for it. You're a loser if you're not here, and here at a certain time. You're You're a failure if you didn't make it by this time, if you don't have all the chips in order. Fuck that, man. Let the chips fall where they may. There's so many great stories of guys starting late 30s, 40s, 50s, just a whole new route, doing stuff, just grabbing their nuts, full retard maxing, trying something new, rediscovering their joy in the system. You know, and it's hard, dude. It is hard. I get it. It's hard to go against the machine. And it's hard. It is difficult to, just turn yourself away, do a 360, a moonwalk away from the cogs in the machine and their what they think about you and their expectations of you. These cogs in the machine, these bag chasers, these idiots, these insecure men and women, these men of the mind, not led by faith. It's hard to go against them because they're loud and they're many. And it's difficult to dig for the remnants of meaning. But it's worthwhile. And you dig up those small remnants of meaning, man. And you find, like the breadcrumbs, and they lead you to the path. And you reclaim that throne. You were kicked off at a young age. You treat like a prince when you're younger. A few years, people treating you like a damn prince, and then they boot your ass, send you to work. You enter the machine. And it's hard to break because you start to get a life of, this is not the life I chose. This is the life I tolerated. To get to a place of what? Just existing? Security? This is not the life I chose, and then we start bitching and complaining. This is the life you tolerated that enslaved you. What you tolerate ends up enslaving you. So you got to reclaim that throne, man. And what was really rinsed out of us, burned, was the child. It was this shared culture of faith, support, love thy neighbor. It was a righteousness that was zapped out of us in order to serve the system, to chase the bag. Chasing bags, man. Chasing phantoms. Chasing this life that we never even wanted. We just knew that we had to, make something of ourselves in a hurry so that we could keep doing it, buy new things, like appear like we got shit together, flex various status symbols that mean nothing. What has that done to us but leave us isolated and alone? And now, come October, fall is a mirror to show you, man, you got those. Do you have people or not? Do you have congregation? Do you have fellowship? We gave up a lot, really a lot, when we decided to get into this machine and the system, and just how much things have just decayed and give so much merit to a thought. We just gave so much to thinking and appearing and looking a certain way, man. We bought the fancy cars. We got the job. We sit at a desk 8 hours a day, but we can't even fucking throw a frisbee like people like to run. You can't even throw a disc. You can't even be competitive. You can't even shoot a basketball, but you're so involved with politics. You can't have a bit of finesse in the body. The culture decayed. The shared rituals, the shared ceremonies, and at the center of that all was a belief in God, one nation under God, something that united us. And so, what I say boldly is, if you want to reclaim the throne, man, you got to look to the King of Kings. You got to look to the King's light. You got to follow that light, because he will lead you to the path. But it takes faith the size of a mustard seed. It takes the courage in the mind of a child, the unburdened mind of a child. That's what it takes. Really, it takes a return. Retard maxing. Let go of the thought. Return. Seek him. See how he was living. Look to the King. Look to the King of Kings. It takes humility and being humble, or you will get swept up. You really will. So you know what I tell you, brother? Get out there, play. Don't worry about your steps. Don't worry about hitting your 5 workouts in a week. You know, just bounce around. Just like move your body. Like what do you really want to do? You ever ask yourself, like, what do I really like to do? Or am I just doing things to occupy my time? Am I like, what is it I find very fascinating, interesting? These are all things we did as kids. Why do we give them up? So go out there. You know what? Pick up a disc. You need me to recommend you something? I will gladly recommend you something. I hope to see you on the course. You know what? I think we could unite the people through shared games that aren't just online. I'm talking about real games, real sport. Get in the dojo. Get in jiu-jitsu if you haven't already. Try the boxing. But if it's not for you, it's not for you. And that's completely fine. I get it. There's a lot of fun things to do out there. But figure that out. Figure it out. What is the call? What is your heart telling you to do? What is the intuition? What is the joy telling you? Do this. Discover. Dig. Find meaning. Dig, man. You got to keep digging. Seek. All right? That's it, baby. Ride the tiger. Hold fast. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.